It took a minute, but here I am. Hello, hello. Welcome to Leap Taken. I'm Mika. Here at Leap Taken, I talk all things witchy, craft related, law of attraction, manifesting, esoteric, and everything else in between. This damn light about to take my eyes out. Anyway, hi. Welcome to Leap Taken. It is a good day to have a good day. Need some more light to balance me out. You know what? Let me turn on this overhead light because I'm going to show you guys something. So I want y'all to see. But we're going to have a fun conversation today. Hi, Gemstones. Hello. Ah, I it's such an exciting day for me today. And I couldn't wait to get on here and talk about this fun topic. And I wanted to also talk about my books, but that's another conversation. I'll get to that. So today, I checked, and Amazon does have my Book of Shadows for the Hearth Witch available. This is my big exciting news. I was really excited, and like the my supporting team in my life was just as happy for me, and that made me happy. And I'm just so happy right now because that's three. My goal was to get these three out. I didn't know it would take so long to get the Hearth Witch book out, but nevertheless. But anyway, this is my not for sale copy, but this is actually the book. My actual copies are coming. I will be selling all three of my Book of Shadows and Grimoires on my website come next week. Actually, probably more like this weekend. I'll be putting that up, going up. I am like super excited. And this is all in time for my birthday. So like this is some big Aries energy. This is so on trend for me to do it like around my birthday. It wasn't intentional, but this is just how life works out. But the Book of Shadows for the Hearth Witch is available right now. All the links are in the description for all three books currently on Amazon. I will be selling these books directly through my website. And I'm in the process of honestly TikTok shop as well. So I'll be that annoying person on TikTok on live selling my stuff. People complain, but look, we gotta do what we gotta do. You lucky I'm not harassing y'all here on uh YouTube, just sitting on live all day selling my stuff. But then again, I did warn you. Don't be surprised if that's me. Late night, like QVC style, HSN style, selling my books. This is Mushroom Chai. I don't love it, but I paid for it. And they charged me $36 for this. I did, and they gave me a free spoon. You have to keep mixing it as you drink it. I don't love it. It was okay the first time. It gives me a lot of energy though. And they say it's supposed to like balance your hormones. I don't know. I'm doing the best I can over here. But the Book of Shadows for the Hearth, which is available. I love all my books. I do some of this. I do some of this. That's why I wrote about it. Wait till you see what's coming next. But I definitely do this. So I'm going to read the dedication of this book. The dedication, which is the first page, if you're curious. Now, oh, before I even get into it, the books are set up so they're basically a couple things I'm solving with these books, all three. A lot of times we want to start a book and we don't know what to put in the book. We don't know what to put in the front of the book. By the way, this is the back. That's me. We don't know what to put in the back of the book. We don't know how to start the book. So what do? We get a pretty fancy notebook with a beautiful cover and we just let it sit. I've done that multiple times. Or you start it and you don't finish. I've taken that out for you. I've made it so that you can just, not the words, the information is in the front for you. I'm going too fast. The mushroom chai got me tweaking. I put the information in the front for you, including a dedication, including information about correspondences. All these books are different, by the way, but the one thing that is the same about all the books is that you get these beautiful blank pages where you get to add the rest of your journey. You get to put your recipes, your spells, your rituals, your readings, your journaling, magical journaling, whatever. If you want to cover the whole page or something, if you want to put in new pages, this can handle it. It can get thicker, and that's okay. You get to do all that, and this has just become. And if you get through it, it becomes your volume one. But wouldn't it be nice to have a completed book for once, something that you worked on, and it's not all the information given to you? You put your own correspondences in here. You put your own things in here. I just get you started. I give you that boost, that push here from relevant information to get you started. So I'll read the dedication now. This book of shadows is a sacred vessel, a keeper of whispers and wisdom, a companion to my craft. Within these pages, I weave the magic of hearth and home, honoring the sacred alchemy of daily life. To the flickering flame that warms my spirit, to the cauldron that nourishes both body and soul, to the sacred sweep of my broom that clears away what no longer serves, to the home, spirits who dwell in every nook and corner, to the ancestors who walk beside me, their wisdom echoing in the quiet. May this book be a reflection of my journey, a guide for my hands, and a light upon my path. May it grow with me as I grow in my craft. With love, devotion, and magic in every breath. Blessed day. So we go into a brief introduction of witchcraft. No time wasted. We jump into what it is. Kitchen witchery, cleansing and protection magic, domestic rituals and everyday enchantment, home spirits and ancestor veneration, understanding hearth magic. Let me give you that here. Hearth magic is the practice of making the home a sacred and magical space through daily rituals, intentional living, and deep connection to domestic life. Unlike high ceremonial magic, which often requires complex rituals, hearth magic is woven seamlessly into everyday actions. It is accessible, intuitive, and deeply personal. Hey, Dylan. This form of magic is about presence and intention, finding the sacred in simple moments, honoring the spirits of home and hearth, and using the elements to create warmth, protection, and prosperity. It is a practice of devotion, love, and quiet power, where even the smallest actions hold deep meaning. So that's Hearth Witch. That's Hearth Witchery right there. We jump into protection or rituals for protection and warmth, um, kitchen witchery and hearth recipes, hearth and home correspondences. There is a lot of information in here. Like I said, all these books are different. This one has a lot of more tables with correspondence and things like that, just because of the practice. Um, I give you a lot of blessings in here and charms and things like that that you can speak that I personally use, obviously. And then we go into fire, magic, and candle spells. So I love seeing this in print. This is like, anyway. So even color correspondences, like for your candle colors and things like that. But for instance, I'll say pink is love, friendship, and self-care, promoting, but uses in hearth witchery. So I'm not just giving you the same information you can find anywhere. So there's the candle color, the magical properties, and then use in hearth witchery. So everything is tailored to hearth witchery in this book. I'm not just giving you random facts. Then we go into daily domestic magic, and it just goes on until you get into the last bit here, which wraps up with hearth tools and magical correspondences. And then you start your journey. You write the rest here. And approximately, it's supposed to be sort of like half and half in all the books. So half part is printed and half part is blank. And again, that is intentional because you're supposed to finish it out. These three books are all very different. The common thread is that they're all ready to go for you to get started, but these are for three different types of paths. Even if you are someone who walks all three in a way, you have something to work with. I am so very proud of myself. I'll be honest with you. I'll say that loud and proud. I'm very proud of myself. This has solved so much for so many people. I already have people telling me that this is something they were looking for. And by the way, there is nothing else out there like this. I've checked because I would have bought it and I would have told you all about it. I would have already bought it. You already know I would have bought it and I would have advertised it and talked about it, and we did a full review on it. There is nothing out there like this. There are books that have templates. Congratulations. Oh, thank you. I know this. Thank you, Dylan. As the Aries, we come with the plan. Sometimes we abandon our projects. And since we are like in this energy, I'm like refreshing, reanalyzing. So I had a book going, and it was basically paranormal romance. I put it down. I was trying to write to a certain spicy level, and I was like, is this me? Is this who I am? And I started a murder mystery book, and the book is just about done. I just literally have to write a last handful of chapters. And I've had somebody, I'm calling her my beta reader. She's my sister. She has like nicely, but really aggressively been like, hey, so you're going to finish that book? Because she really thought there was something there. And I've decided I'm gonna go ahead and do that. So I'm hoping to get that one published sooner. I don't want to say dates because I don't want to upset myself, but very soon. The book is just about complete. That's the crazy part. It's just a matter of me, doing it. And it's a process. Writing is a process. Writing to an audience, not writing just for because it's fun for me, is another thing. Writing so that other people can read it is just like huge. I wrote these books for the purposes of solving an issue I know myself and quite a few other people have had when it comes to magical journaling, magical record keeping. Is the first part is not being sure what to put in the front, and then something to kind of give you an idea. So I gave you an idea. You can run with this, especially when, all the books have a different flavor. The Book of Shadows for the Love Wish, for instance, go off. Like, make the pages pretty, cover the pages, do as you will. With the Hoodoo Grimoire, this is something, if you want to take clippings, if you have like a funeral program from a relative, you could put that in here. You can set up a on paper ancestor altar. If you're not in a position to do it someplace else, you could set that up in here. Don't worry, I'll be showing you. And then, of course, the Book of Shadows for the Hearth Witch, which I'll also be showing as well. I'm waiting for my actual copies. They just got on sale, and I'm waiting to receive mine as well. So, and I'm ordered bulk, so it takes longer. So I'm waiting to get those so I can sell them. But also, I need them for myself so I can show you guys. But I'll be adding pages to this for sure. Recipes. I talked about on my other channel. If you don't know, I have another channel called Magical Lifestyle of a Cottage Witch. On that channel, I talked about the book, this book and everything, and it's available now. I'm so excited. Anyway, so I talked about it, and I was saying how I have a plant that's sitting over here that is basically on its last leg, and I'm basically this is the third pot, fourth location. I'm doing the best I can, but I don't think she's gonna make it. She don't like support, and I'm doing the best I can. So I'm very attached to my plants. I don't do pets and stuff like that in my house, but I do plants. What AI software did you use for the covers? Why do you assume? First of all, that's a little shady, Dylan. Anyway, what AI software did I use for hey. Why you say that? Why'd you assume it was AI software? Why would you make that determination? Actually, I got some help from an outsider with my covers. Anyway, but yeah, my plant is on she's having a hard time. So one of the things that I'll be putting, and I've done this already, is I'll be writing down, because I realized I didn't write it down. It's just something I do, but I like to speak a few words over the parting, of the life of the plant, especially when I have to take it out and throw it out. It hurts my spirit when I have to do that. It hurts me. They look off to you. The roses and the moon look off to you. Oh, it just looks like an image. I don't know. Maybe it's the print because this is a gloss cover. I don't know. I don't think it looks off. I think it looks pretty. I don't know. I've analyzed it, and I have like three other people help me. And one person helped with the art, but I don't know. I don't know what you mean. But anyway, so I have a sort of like, I don't call it a funeral for my plants, but basically like parting words. So that is something, but I'm giving her space to see if she can pull through again, hopefully before I have to add my ritual down for plant life, but things like that. And that, honestly, this is a part of my practice, being able to, um, oh, you didn't, I'm still, man, what's bringing the mood down is my plant. Because this is now dates. I'm still talking about this because like I said, I don't have pets and things like that. My plant life are special to me and I've attached to them. And it hurts my spirit when they don't make it. And I call my plant ladies, my fellow green witch, my sister, she doesn't call herself a green witch, I call her that. She is like my plant expert. I paid for an app for it to tell me. I'm following it. Just I don't know why. I think they call it a peace lily. I don't It used to have flowers, and now she's just not. And I brought her here because it's so sunny here, and they said, "Oh, it likes a lot of water." So I gave it a lot of water. It did not like that. Um, I'm struggling right now because all my other plants are thriving. That sweet baby in the back, yes, so we're talking plants. I'm so into this. As soon as I put her here, she thrived. By the way, she's sitting on my Persephone altar, which isn't that interesting. As soon as I put her here, right before the spring equinox, she just bloomed another set of leaves right on top. That is my princess. So on the Persephone altar, I have a couple different things. I have an offering. That's like a little table. You can't tell back there. I take like a plant stand and I put like a Dollar Tree serving tray over top of it and then put a cover over that and it becomes an altar. So if you're looking for cheap ways, like economical ways to do, like get like a plant stand, something kind of small like that. But anyway, I have her on here. So this represents the spring life, this one here. And then over here, if you can see that skull, that's actually an incense holder I got around Halloween. And this represents is kind of the duality that is Persephone. And I love these. This is a recent addition, but I love these. I have my offering on here of pomegranate seeds and my feminine divine herbal blend and a couple other things. I work with Persephone's energy. I like that archetype. So I have her here. I thought this one would get some of that good, but no, she didn't. And then I have the beautiful aloe plant that, following advice and just loving on her, she grew so much. How did this turn into a conversation about plants? Because I really am a witch. It gets like this. So when is my birthday? It is our season. My birthday is March 30th. It's coming up. What is that, Sunday? I thought I was seeing things, but is there a skull by the plants? Yes. That is actually an incense holder. So you put like a cone incense in here, the skull lifts up and it has a base. I got this from Michael's at Halloween, but I thought it was the perfect thing to put on my Persephone altar. It makes so much sense, right? So you have the spring life, and this like represents like the underworld energy. You know, you just you gotta, man, just sometimes when you're working with these deities, archetypes, and remember, we talked about who's who with the deities and how you want to approach them. That's up to you how you approach it. We don't all approach it the same, and that's okay. So we don't all have to do it the same. But if you want an expression of that, like you could do something like this. It definitely fits the vibe of the altar, right? So you get it. Thank you, Dylan. And Dylan, when's your birthday? I'm getting my money's worth with this chai. Oh, I still don't like it. Hi. Oh, I'm trying. I just didn't want to waste my money. You turn 27. Woohoo! You know what? 27 is one of those years, I'm not going to hold you. I don't remember it. I had this conversation with a 28, soon to be 29-year-old, and they said the same thing. They was like, I don't remember being 27. Like they remember what happened, but you don't remember the year. So my advice to you is do something memorable to you, what's sacred to you this birth year. Write it down, make it a thing. Like do something very memorable. These are like the odd years. Like you remember 21, but you might not remember 31 or 41. And it's like these odd numbers or something. But I know I've taught this actually was a topic of conversation that came up recently. We're all like, we don't remember that. Like if you said, well, what'd you do at 37? I have no idea what I don't remember it. But like I remember kind of like what happened at 30 or even 35. Do something memorable. All right, on to the video. So just anyway, I couldn't contain my excitement about my baby being available for purchase. Yeah, I'm happy. All right, so moving on. All right, let's get comfy if you're not already. Light a candle if you're feeling some sort of vibe. I wish I lit my incense, but that's okay. And I have my notes. I got a list. Spoilers, like 22 items. First thing, rituals we do without thinking. Wait a minute. As soon as you posted about it in the Discord, I went and bought it. Can't wait. Oh, thank you so much. I'm glad. I hope so. My point was I didn't want to have regurgitated information that you could just like Google and find everywhere. They are very specific to the path. So with the Hearth Witch, like I said, I give you a list of correspondences, so you'll see more tables in that book than in the other ones, but I only apply it to Hearth Witchery, so it makes sense. And then the goal is to get you started so you can fill out the rest. All right, rituals we do without thinking. Got my list here. Birthday candles. That's the easiest, right? Blowing out candles and making a wish. That's candle magic. Y'all knew that. You set an intention, you breathe, which is, you blow, which is life force, and you direct it to the flame. That is the easiest one. We all knew that one, right? Pouring out one for the dead. So, they say, in like back in like in the 90s, they like, this is for the dead homies, stuff like that. That's ancestral veneration. When you pour out liquor or water for someone who's passed, that's ancestor veneration. And that liquid becomes like sacred the moment it's done with the intention. That becomes sacred. Saying rest in peace or lighting a candle for the dead. This is another one. Lighting a candle and saying a prayer. Let's talk as practitioners. Lighting a candle and saying a prayer for a loved one who's passed is a spell. It's a spell. You're working with energy and memory. And that's also a foundation of a lot of ancestor work, right? Another one, which is something I grew up, my mom does this, not like if she was talking, she'd be like, knock on wood, knock on wood. That's sympathetic magic. And you're trying to prevent like bad luck by grounding the energy or calling on nature to protect you. That's like a protective spell sort of in disguise. Knock on wood is a big one because I know a lot of people. I do that. Well, of course I do it, but I do it not because of because honestly, I've always done it, but I literally, my mom does that all the time. And then let's talk about words for spells. Affirmations and mantras. I could go all day about this one. You're speaking your reality into existence. Words hold vibration and energy. That's spellcasting 101. Argue with me. People, no, that's not what it is. Yes, it is. So I'm going to say this. Some of the things that I'm talking about, if you come from a religious background, there honestly was a reason they didn't want us to do that. Well, not me, but those who follow that path. There was a reason they didn't want you to do some of these things. Like I think Jehovah's Witnesses they don't recognize like birthday celebrations and stuff like that. I don't know about other faith systems, right? Do the Mormons care? I don't know. I don't even know any Mormons. Well, first of all, they wouldn't want to know me, but I don't know any Mormons. I'm thinking about it. I have met people who are ex-Mormons, but I don't know any like current Mormons personally. They're all around me, but I don't know them. You live in Arizona, you're gonna find people Mormons, especially if you're on in the East Valley. Dylan knows what I'm talking about. I don't know. Are there a lot of Mormons in the West Valley? I know they're definitely here in the East Valley. All right, but affirmations and mantras, that's spell casting. You're speaking, and that's why if you are someone who considers yourself any type of practitioner and you're doing that, it works. For us, a lot of the times it takes on like it works in a different kind of way, right? Um, than let's say when a like someone who believes they're doing something mundane or they don't think it's spiritual, they think they're just talking to the universe, but they're just on some energy type thing. There's a lot of people I've come across, and maybe at some point I probably used to think like this a little bit when I wasn't sure if I wanted to call myself a witch. I don't run into Mormons a lot out here in the West, okay? I have literally run into Mormons, like literally here. Um, they were spooked by me, almost as if they aren't used to seeing people like me in the flesh. I'm not even exaggerating. It was weird for me because they had me feeling weird. Okay, another one. We're on 6. Swearing oaths, wedding vows, and promises. So if you ever notice how serious it feels when you say something like, I swear on my life, that's a verbal binding. It's an energetic contract, and witches use them all the time as spell work. Yeah, I swear on my life. I People use that so cavalierly, and the main people who say that are you. Have you ever noticed people who usually say stuff like that? Not usually, but a lot of times people who are lying use that like to add more seriousness to it because they know what that means. That's a verbal binding. Um, Speaking of binding, binding contracts, even legal ones. Contracts are magical documents. Signatures carry your essence, and your name has power. That's why witches buy things with cords, inks, or names. It all ties back. So let's talk about that, like your name. One of the things, I don't know if this is still considered like a popular thing, but at least for the purposes of being online, people adopt a name. Oh, especially if you're a witch, you'll make a witchy name. So, and some people choose to share it, or you share it just within your coven. For instance, I have a witchy name that I exclusively use with my coven, um, but I don't use it here. But I'm just Mika here, and that's fine. But if I were to, well, I wouldn't, well, it was a legal contract, but any sort of contract, or if I was signing my name for the purposes of a contract or petition or something like that, and I put that name, I mean, in working magic during ritual or a spell, that has implications like that. That's binding. But even in when you sign a contract, when you enter into a rental agreement and you rent out a place, when you buy a car and a leases, all that sort of stuff, like those are contracts. When you sign your name on that credit card statement, that's a contract. I've seen Mormons, Mennonites, and general Christians and a few pagans. Oh, okay. I don't know if there's, I swear I think I met a witch in a Joanne's during Halloween, this last Halloween. And we were the only two people. And I'm looking at her, she's looking at me, and she's like, "Oh, I keep this stuff up year round." I was like, "Yeah, I do too." And we just talking, and I'm like, "Is this what it's like to pick up people?" Like, I'm trying to make a friend in person, and I was like, I have never had more respect for people who are trying to like. I mean, my intentions were not romantic, but I still wanted to like enter into a friendship with her just based on our interaction and our conversation. Is this what it's like when y'all try to pick up people? Oh my god, that was so hard. And you're like, You don't want to come on too strong. You don't know what to say. And I'm just thinking all my life where I was like, I just need a guy to just be direct if he wants to approach me. I used to talk like that all the time. Like, just be direct. I mean, if I don't like you, I don't like you. And I just made it seem so easy. From my perspective, of course it was easy, but like a guy approaching me, the anxiety of like, you don't want to like scare the person away. You're enjoying the time that you have with them. You'd like to see if you don't know, but you're trying. Um, yeah, that was hard. And I didn't seal the deal. She's not my friend. I didn't, I tried to keep, so we kept running into each other in the aisles and we kick up another conversation. We're talking about the different stuff. I'm pretty sure she was a witch like me. And she was like middle age like me. And I'm like, why are we not friends? Or I didn't know how to close it. I didn't know how to close the deal. I don't know how to pick up friends in person like that, I guess. I don't know. I got to work on that. How do y'all do it? Be direct, follow my own advice. I was somewhat direct, but maybe not real. I probably thought I was and I wasn't. Anyway, binding contracts, even legal ones, because those contracts, just your signature carries your essence. Hope you run into her this October and become friends. I know, right? Well, we won't have Joanne's anymore. So maybe, and I wasn't in my normal, I was like out running errands. I wasn't even in my normal place that I, like in my area. I was like out the way. And I was like, oh, let me stop in Joanne's. So I'll have to go over there, stalk this lady. All right, number 8, saying bless you when someone sneezes. Bless you. Originally, this was believed to protect the soul while the body was vulnerable, but that's protection magic, right? That's protection magic, saying bless you. Now, people add the God bless you. I've heard people say goddess bless you, especially in my early days in Wicca world. Why did I say Wicca world? But you know, in my Wiccan spaces. Yes, honey, I was in the street, in the Wiccan streets, hanging out with Wiccan people and doing Wiccan things once upon a time. That was where was I living when I was on that? Was that in North Carolina or Tennessee? No, I was in Tennessee. Yeah. All right. So number 9, don't step on a crack. Y'all know that. Don't step on a crack or you'll break your mama's back. That's a hex, or rather, it's kind of like avoiding one. That rhyme is rooted in folk superstition, but words that carry consequence. It's a thing. It's a thing. Y'all know we believed it when we was a kid. Sometimes I've seen like in skits and things like that. Not recently, but I have seen where somebody like your mom made you mad and he stepped on the crack intentionally to break her back. They didn't say it would happen right then and there, but funny how later on in life your she might have had back problems. Did y'all give your mom? Oh my God! I hope one of my kids didn't get pissed off at me. It was like, here, my daughter, my son, no. My daughter, no. I don't know about that. You know, your youngest one. I don't know. I hope my son didn't step on a crack because I did have. I remember I had back problems so bad I had to go to a chiropractor, and he was young enough, and he was going through that like transitional teenagery stage, like 13, 14. He probably did step. Probably was like, take that, lady. No, I kid. He's delightful. He would never. All right, holding your breath passing a cemetery. I don't remember doing this, but I know some people do. Some people believe you need to hold your breath so spirits don't enter you. That's spiritual shielding. Does anybody know what I'm talking about? Hold your breath when passing a cemetery. I faintly remember like a cousin or somebody doing something like that, like as kids, like like that when you pass by a graveyard or cemetery. It's a thing, apparently, but that's spiritual shielding. You're doing witchcraft. Some of these things are like kids stuff, but not everything. Not everything. Now, here's one that was definitely a thing in my household. Hair burning after combing. So some folks burn their hair so no one could work a root on them. But that is definitely protection magic, and it shows up in multiple cultures. But I definitely know that was something we got down with heavy in my household. My mom, uh, it was usually a Sunday. By Sunday evening, she washed my hair, and I had a lot of hair as a kid too. It's not so. It was longer and just a lot voluminous at the time. Um, and she, I had to go through the ritual of getting washed and blow dry, and then she come out with that hot comb from the stove. There's no, from the stove, and she kept a towel, and some grease, and I just hear the sizzle. And I was always like this. And she's like, don't move, don't move. But when she was done through the whole process, any hair and the combs and brushes, this was a ritual. Like real talk, my mom did not skip this step. She would always go through, comb out the brush, get collected out the comb, or the brush, run the brush through the comb through the brush, take it out, and she would set that hair on fire. And I just remember the smell. So I'm smelling burning hair. One from her coming with a hot comb through my hair, and two from her literally burning the hair. Imagine if you and your kid are fighting and they step on a crack on purpose and you pretend that you broke your back, and see how they respond. I was I was that type of parent. I would have done that. Mind you, thinking back, it's so funny seeing now where people says, I can't believe, we're the new adults, we're so unserious. Meanwhile, I remember being in my 20s. My son in particular had a temper tantrum. We were in the mall, Cherry Hill Mall, New Jersey, if you know it. And he threw a full temper tantrum, fell onto the ground, temper tantrum. I was like, oh, I threw myself on the ground and started crying and screaming like him. He did not enjoy that. He was that little boy. That boy was pissed at me. I'm just as unserious. So you want to embarrass me? I'm gonna embarrass you. Um, so no, the unseriousness has been happening for some time. I mean, I was in my 20s. I don't know if that was a proper way of handling it, but it felt right to me. I'm like, oh, you're trying to embarrass me? How about if I embarrass you? And Ski says, I still cannot deal with hot combs. Oh, yeah, I know, right? Just got to be still and wait it out. Burning hair smells so bad. It's not a great smell. It was not a good smell, but yeah, that was a thing. It was definitely a thing in my household. All right, so another one. Throw salt over the shoulder. Besides just from practical magic, but tossing salt to the left is to blind or ward off evil spirits. Salt is still one of the most powerful cleansing agents in witchcraft. So I mean, I feel like that's obvious. Somebody said you do it for luck. But yeah, luck to ward. So basically, you're warding off evil, blind or evil spirits. That's the purpose of over the left shoulder. And if you want to take it a step further, like whenever, like, remember in a cartoon, so it'd be like the devil on your left and like the angel on your right. So if you throw it over, you get it. This is my left. So you throw it over, you're blinding that evil spirit. So like the devil spirit. So it all connects. Keep the salty energy away. Exactly. Let me be very clear. I know my daughter. If she spills salt, or she has, like, let's say she took some and she was putting it on something, a sprinkle of salt, and it was like, oh, that's nothing. She still has some in her hand. Because of watching me, she always throws it over her left shoulder to this day. It's a thing. I've imparted knowledge on them, in my witchy ways. She does not think too hard about it. It's just something that she just knows to do, kind of like me with the knock on wood. All right, here's another one. So that was 12. So we're on number 13. Horseshoes, evil eyes, and other lucky charms. So keeping a horseshoe over your door, which we talk about easily in witchcraft, but the muggles, they don't know why. Or wearing like a nazar to protect against envy. You're using talismans. But just think of, just like witches have done for centuries. I would take it a step further. Don't hold me. Don't get mad. The cross, the left side being demonized, right? Which actually, Dylan, think about it. People got mad, or not mad. They like thought you were like something wrong. Back in the day, many, many moons ago, like in my grandmom's generation, they didn't want you to be left-handed. And probably like her mother and that generation, from my understanding, they would force you to become right hand dominant. It would seem like, and well, okay, it's not just coming from no place. It's coming from uh, European ways, and but the people trying to conform. Um, that's where it's coming from. And they use religion to help with conformity. But like I understood, like at Catholic schools and stuff like that, they would not let you be left-handed. This is like firsthand accounts for people I knew. I don't know if this is like a thing, but I've heard enough of it. It was like considered like evil or something to be left-handed. Isn't that crazy? When you really think about it, it's like, well, this is just my dominant hand. I know one of my coven sisters we were doing a ritual, and I wrote out, put this, it was like our spring equinox ritual. And I was like, put whatever it was in your right hand. And I was like, or your dominant hand. And then she was like, yeah. And I was like, I put it in your dominant hand. I just assumed it said right hand. I was like, put it in your dominant. So if that's left for you. It is super sad. Yeah. Like even in that moment, I was like, being what is it, a little ableist about left, right hand. But I caught myself. But seriously, like these charms or things that people use, horseshoes, and like I said, the evil eyes, people just casually have that and they don't think it as witchcraft, but low key, you don't know witchy. Okay. Number 14, we're getting close here. So cleaning with intention, like spring cleaning. Now, I talk about this, especially on my other channel. I talk about spring cleaning or using cleaning as ritualistic. But when you open windows and mop floors and burn incense or like light candles after cleaning, that's a cleansing ritual. Let's get into the lighting of the candle. I know a lot of people, as soon as they finish cleaning up the kitchen or the room or whatever room they're in, they like light a candle. Another thing that I know, this is definitely the most Black American thing I could think of right off the top to this topic. When you clean the kitchen at the end of the night and you turn on that light over top of the stove top, and it's like the night light or something. It's like the signal. That is it's anybody I know that has one and they look like me, we all turn that light on. And I didn't realize this. Thank you to social media for pointing that out. Like, we all do that. There's no Black people meeting that we're deciding. It's just what we do. I can't even say it's something taught because we didn't even have an overhead. Because back when I came up, we didn't have where we live, we didn't have the thing overhead like that. So I didn't even do that growing up, but I just started doing that on my own. But all my friends were doing it, and then everybody else was doing it. And I don't know why. We just do. That is a ritual. The end of the night is what we do. I wonder where that came. I don't know. I can't even tell you why. I don't know where it came from. I have no clue. I do it though. It's a ritual. It's a cleansing ritual. But like when you clean your house and like once it's done and you light that scented candle, that marks it's done. Also, that usually means do not come into this room and mess anything up. It's a signal. Don't touch anything. I just cleaned it. At least that's how I took it when I had little kids. Like, don't come in here. Don't. It would irritate me as soon as I'm done cleaning the kitchen, like deep clean, like you didn't mop the floors, you didn't wipe down appliances, you did the whole thing, maybe wipe down cabinets. And here comes some little sticky fingered child wanting to come to your refrigerator, open something up. And it's irked my spirit. I turned it to my mom. My mom had a thing. Do not come into this kitchen without washing your hands. Don't touch my refrigerator. Don't go get a glass. Don't touch my faucet. Don't do nothing until you wash your hands. That was her. To this day, when little kids come over, don't please don't make the mistake of walking into that woman's kitchen and not washing your hands. She will stop you. I leave it the overhead light to remind myself that I need to go back into the kitchen for something. But my grandma always had wasted power, so always turn it off. Old school, yeah, yeah, they would, yeah. My grandma would be like, "Why you got those lights on?" Then again, my grandma was the type of person where if it was, and y'all already know, if it was a storm out, and especially in the summertime, like I'd be outside playing because my mom was at work and I would go to my grandma's house. She would say, she would shut the whole freaking house down. You could not take a shower. You couldn't run any kind of electricity while it was thundering and lightning outside. She didn't have to see lightning. She heard thunder. Shut it down. And we all just sitting there hot, just sitting there. And I'm like, that's where we, okay. So one, do y'all remember being kids and you were told, or I don't know, my adult, no adult said this, other kids said it, when it was thunder and lightning outside, God was fighting their wife. Why did we accept that also? That is hard. So basically, domestic violence. And we're just like, right, that's what's happening. We didn't even think that hard about it. Anyway, moving on. Number 15. Cooking for someone you love equals kitchen witchery. So, food made with love heals. Stirring clockwise to bring in blessings or adding certain herbs for good luck. That's spell work. That is 100% spell work. You're doing a little kitchen witchery. The chicken soup that you swear like your mom makes and makes you feel better. First of all, there's good things in there that really is probably making you feel better. Just the broth alone. Um, it's warm, but like when someone is making you a soup to make you feel better, that right there, that's the thing. It's not the same if you like order a to go someplace, like it's not the same. If someone makes you a homemade soup or homemade meal, something to help love, to show love, to heal you, ooh, it makes you feel better. It may not have like cured you, but you felt better, right? That's some magic right there. Okay, here's another one. Boiling orange peels, cinnamon, or herbs to make the house smell good. That simmer pot magic right there. You're infusing your space with the intention through scent, herbs, and water. I am a big aromatherapy person. I like smell goods. I like smell goods on and I like smell goods around. Even in my car, it has a nice scent to it. Um, I like a good smell good, and I like to change. I feel like you change the energy with the scent. If think about it, if you wanted to have like a romantic vibe in your space, there's certain scents that you like sandalwood comes to mind, something like amber, sandalwood, musky scent, stuff like that, like Egyptian musk. If you're trying to lighten things up a little bit, more of a citrus scent. Um, if you are going for more uplifting, maybe something in the mint family. So yeah, I'm big on that. And I think about that very much from a witch's perspective. Okay, number 17. Wearing lucky jewelry or lucky perfume. Speaking of smell good. So when you wear a certain ring, or like speaking of, I forgot to put my Aura ring on. I forgot to put it on. I washed my dishes last night, and I know where it's at. It's sitting right on top of the Keurig, right there in my kitchen. I just realized that, and I'm supposed to sleep with it because it helps let me know my sleep quality, like heart rate, and all that sort of stuff. I'm doing the best I can. I'm trying to be healthy, a healthy witch over here. So I got that at the end of the year, like with the flexible spending account stuff. That thing is expensive. That is hundreds of dollars for that thing. But I used the last that was left in a flexible spending account, and I got it. But doesn't work if you don't wear it. But anyway, yeah, wearing like a certain scent because it feels like it gives you more confidence, and your favorite earrings because you feel like it makes your eyes pop and you feel more confident. That's glamour magic right there. 100% glamour magic. That is the most basic glamour magic, um, for sure. So another one, like beauty routines as rituals. So when you say affirmations in the mirror, or like you're doing skincare steps in a very specific order, or bless your body with oils or creams, you're performing self-love rituals. 100%. Um, when I was a loose, natural, with my curls back in the day, um, I had a multi-step routine every Thursday for my hair. I made my own products, my own oils. I sourced my herbs. I would go to international food markets and get in certain specific herbs, Ayurvedic herbs. I'm back on that, by the way. I got those. I wanted it for length, which I did get at the time, but also to help with like the grays coming in, and it worked. What is it? Alma powder, turning those into oils. I have fenugreek right now, and neem oil is another one. Or wearing a different nail polish color or one finger. Ooh, yeah. First of all, just the color. Yeah. Oh, I can't even get into it. First of all, the nail polish thing is serious because I know at least three different people who wear specific colors at specific seasons because they're what is that you're wearing at because they like in their mind, well, this goes in that season. They change their wardrobe or certain things, like that's their base color though, like they only wear black in a certain time of year, like fall. Yeah, definitely fall, and like reds, maybe a blood red around like Halloween, and then like a different type of red, more emerald, like not emerald, ruby red for like Christmas. This is the whole conversation that is had. Go into a nail. You ever get your nails done? People are very serious about this, but yeah, those rituals, those are self love rituals. It's definitely giving beauty magic. Low key, they're love witches, or they're doing some love witch work. All right, number 19, haircuts on the new moon or full moon. So many people cut hair to release old energy or grow it faster. Um, that's literally lunar magic. But we can talk into hair cutting in general. Cut like women for sure, men for sure, women. People talk about, oh, after a breakup, like they'll cut all their hair off. Honestly, it's a little bit more nuanced, but as you get older, you find that women cut their hair. I used to wonder about this now that I'm considered an older woman. I know why. Because your freaking hair is thinning. The hormones, the less estrogen, all this stuff it does a number on you. I'm over here taking collagen. I'm doing so many things, not to remain youthful, but to keep the parts I like my hair. But yeah, your hair gets thinner, um, and it can get so thin that you just want to you cut it off because it doesn't look right. If you try to have length, it just look wispy, and then you look like haggard. So it's easier, just like you see older women do, like a pix, especially now, like a modern older woman, she'll do a pixie cut. Some women don't like the gray, so kind of cutting it down more, so it might have thinned out. Even if it didn't, if you cut it down, it's easier to do the dye. Um because if you have longer hair, the more hair you got, and you keep like dyeing it, you're already fighting to keep the hairs on your head. Now you're dyeing it, you're gonna mess it up even more. So just having less hair, long hair, is beneficial. But I know it's considered like almost like a rite of passage for some women to do that. I don't know what I'm just trying to keep the hairs on my head. I don't want to cut my hair. I've invested a lot into this particular lock journey. Gray white hair can look hot. It can, yes. You got to get there though. I don't know if I'm ready to embrace the gray. I'm not gonna hold y'all. Like I've thought about this. I was like, I feel like that's 60-year-old Mika's issue, not this version. I feel like that's down the road. I may change my mind. I'm a woman. I'm allowed to change my mind. But I don't know if I'm ready for the gray. So just like let it all come in. First of all, with locks, the gray as it comes in, the more I look at it, I just keep thinking there's stuff in my hair. And I'm like, oh shoot, I got so much lint. And I look close, I was like, that's not lint. I like using this is a hair wax. So it's like a golden, like I love this color too. I think I'm gonna keep doing this one for a minute. But like I like using the hair wax to just kind of change it up. It's easy. It doesn't it's not it's not damaging my hair. Honestly, and the color wax kind of seals in some moisture too. And you should keep it on no more than 5 days and wash your hair. Some people, I mean, you can switch it up as much as you want, and they're relatively cheap. Like this particular one, for like the length of my hair, I use like a jar and a half, almost 2 jars. And they were only like $6. So like $12 is not bad just to alter your appearance for a couple days. I don't know. Yeah. I've had my locks for 12 years now, and then I keep going back and forth about cutting them. Oh, 12 years. I'm not It's amazing how fast it could happen because I realize I've had mine for some time now. I started getting gray hair in my 20s, and after trying to pluck them a couple times, I just got lazy. My daughter has a gray streak like freaking storm. She got it in her last year at in college, the first college. It was always there. She started getting gray hair very early. But I remember looking at her and I was like, "Girl," she's like, "I know, I know." It was just this streak, one streak, and very dark hair of gray. Yeah, so that's how she gets down now. She was stressed that last year, that last semester. I was like, girl, you beat the odds. Like with that one, like thing, like so many obstacles. She thought we couldn't get her on campus. She had to drive from Boynton Beach, Florida, down to where her school was, which is University of Miami, but it's not actually in Miami. But anyway, it was like an hour drive one way, like all the obstacles. And she was going 5 days a week. She did it and she graduated with a 4.0. Love my baby. Proud of her. Logan, what is that? Logan Lerman, the actor, is in his late 30s and he has a few grades already coming in and people were sad. I'm over like, damn. I blame mine on college stress too. There you go. Yeah. She didn't get it from me because I didn't start getting gray hair until sometime in my later 40s. Um, I didn't really if I did, I'd notice. And I didn't always color my hair either. I mean, in my 20s, I used to color a lot, so I don't know. But I never saw any gray hair. Um, I don't know. I'm trying to think. In no, her bio dad in his 20s, he didn't have gray either. This is all her. And my son doesn't have gray hair either. The day that young man has gray, he's always the baby. It's interesting seeing the baby of the family getting older. It's always like bizarre. Like, how dare you not be a baby? He's like a real grown man. It's so weird. Like an adult. Okay. Number 20. Just got the Hearth Witch book. Ah, thank you, Sunflower and Thistle. Thank you. I appreciate you. Love you. Love you for that. All right. So number 20 is talking to plants or pets. That's definitely me. You're raising vibration and establishing energetic communication. This is like part of green witchery for sure and spirit work. Um, Plant magic is very much a thing. Green witchery is very much a thing, and spirit work is very much a thing. But like talking to your plants and your pets, for sure, it's spirit work. You're appealing to your pet spirit, and I don't mean just talking like I mean talking like there are people. Listen, I know people who talk to their pets like they're almost waiting for an answer. And these are not even people who talk about like familiars. They're if you were there, you're like, wait, do you think they're gonna respond? Low key, I think they're giving space. Like they pause to see if the pet's gonna respond or have some sort of interaction. Are you one of those people who do that? Like you actually like pause, like you know what I mean, right? And you're talking to the pet. You get what I'm saying. That's like thinking you're like, wait. But the crazy part about it, there are people who swear they know what I mean. Well, it's not crazy because I believe you. The pet looks over and like they give you like a side eye, like, I know. Oh, you said the way I'd be talking to my cat, like she's gonna say something back. Like, it's a thing. It's a thing. You're doing a little witchiness. You said they understand. Like, oh no, they do understand. They know what I mean. You come home at the end of the day, you're like, Janice at work is tripping again. Let me tell you what she did this time. It's the part where the pet is just sitting there looking at you like, and what else? Like they seem to be engaged. So I believe it. I think they get it. I believe y'all. With my well, they've proven in studies that plants do know when you're talking to them. Why is this coming undone? Oh, because I sat down. I'm pulling it. I'm like, why is my little thing falling off? I'm dressed for the more. Oh, we're in our 90-degree days here in Arizona. It got up to I think 100 degrees. I think it was yesterday. So I'm embracing it. Let's just. I've been waiting to dress less and go out more. I've been waiting, and it is my time. All right. All right, so 21. Remember, there's 22. 21, trusting your gut, feeling the vibes. So if you've ever walked into a room and it felt off, or your energy, like your energy reading, like something just felt off to you, that's empathetic magic or psychic awareness, which is real. Bestie. Sunflower. This will say keep it. Yeah. Give me your warm temps. We're reaching 70s and 80s this week. Yeah, it's we're back to like spring is like an illusion here. So I was talking about spring. I've been talking about spring because it's felt like spring here already. And now we'll have summer. Um, but yeah, trusting your gut, that feeling of like, ooh, the vibes is off, or going into a space you just feel a certain energy. This is any place, work, in a public space, your own home, you walk in, um, something just feels off. That is definitely like psychic awareness. Um, or empathetic magic, for sure. And that is something, to me, out of all the things that we talked about, that's something we all have the ability to utilize. That's a skill we all have. Over time, some of us dull that natural sense. I guess I wouldn't even say a skill. It could become something. It's a natural sense that we all have, but I think it could be honed and you could be more skillful at using it. And that's when we get into like psychic abilities and stuff like that. Spring, we don't know where we have summer, autumn, and winter. It was a brief moment where it felt like, oh, this feels like spring. And then now, like I said, it's 100-degree days on March 26th. So that tells you everything right there. But I have a question. So we were talking about pets. If you have more than one pet, so if you have like two or more, have you ever felt like when you came into a room, like you were interrupting something, like they had something going on and you like, it felt like, well, what's going on in here? Like it felt like they were up to something. Maybe it was good, maybe it was bad, but it felt like they were on some other energy and the room just didn't feel right. Let me know in the comments if you guys experienced that. Okay, like what's happening in here? You're looking around, especially if you have like more like a cat and a dog or something like that, a mixture. Oh my goodness. Yeah, you get the feeling they had some other business going on and you interrupted. All right, I got another one. The last one, number 22. Let me take a sip of this tea that I'm trying not to waste. Okay. Watching for signs. So noticing patterns and animal omens or number synchronicities. You're working with divination. That is the one when people say, oh, there are so many people who subscribe to like one of the big three, and they'll be like 1111. Um, um, they like the whole, like they use the term spirit animal, y'all know. um, and they're like, I don't know, I felt like I was getting a sign, and they're gonna say God sent me a sign that I kept, I was driving down an interstate and I kept seeing, this word or a color or a number. And I normally don't see that. That's divination. That's a little you that's real witchy right there. That's definitely Why are you noticing those patterns? Why do you see it? It's one thing to notice, it's another thing to imply it's a sign. That's where you get into the witchy territory, for sure. All right, so that was 22. I knew this. I wanted to give a good list of things that some of us recognize, maybe not. It sounds like a lot of us have done or are familiar with a lot of these. Um, whether you call it witchcraft, tradition, superstition, that's the number one thing people call it, or just instinct. I feel like magic really is everywhere. Um, and if this video taught you something or made you feel a little more magical today, give it a like or a share with someone who needs to hear this. Watch the replay. Yeah, I went through 22 items of the different things. So I wanted to end, I'm going to do something a little different. So I'm going to give you some words. You can write this down, hopefully in one of your book of shadows that you got from me. So you want to put your hand on your heart, or you want to hold like a crystal, which I happen to have a heart-shaped crystal. Or you can use a glass of water, whatever feels right. And you would say, after taking a breath, let me do that. By breath and word, by heart and flame, the magic I've done, I now reclaim. In all I do, both big and small, the witch in me now answers the call. And that's how you claim your magic. That's how you can claim your magic. And you could say it again. You could say it 3 times. 3 is my magical number. You could, say it slowly, speak it loudly, or if you want, just write it down. You like that? Thanks, Dylan. I figured we were talking all this about like people doing, magic and not realizing it. And if you found that you were listening to this and you thought, hey, I'd like to I'd like to reclaim some of this. Like maybe you're on the fence. That use those words to reclaim your magic and answer the call. That is witchcraft. It's a beautiful practice. I've been practicing for a very, very, very long time now, and it has gotten me through. I've talked about this in videos, but I do just want to say it's not a novelty for me. It's not something I do as a hobby. I have made hobbies out of witchcraft related things, but it's not a hobby, my practice. It's infused in my day to day. I really do live a magical lifestyle. Um, it influences so much. So that means when I'm riding high and things are going great. And that also means when things are not going great and I'm not feeling great, whether it's health or just like bad things and things are happening. I never abandoned it. It still strengthens me. I still work with it, um, even in my low points. And I will say this, over the years, coming across different people, I have found that, and this is, I'm not speaking negatively about people, but even people here, like on social media, especially here on YouTube over the years, um, when things got a little tough in their life, there's like they immediately abandon witchcraft and it becomes like something negative and evil to them. And they were confused, and things like that. And I just find I can't relate because the spells, when things were happy and good, those spells were working. And when things are not so happy and things are not so good, I still use spells to help get out of that or make the best out of a situation. Maybe that might be bigger than what um, I can work within at that time. Because if I feel down, um, if my energy is down because I'm dealing with like hit after hit, and this is everything from like breakups to job loss, your money goes down, health issues, maybe people in your life are not being as supportive. Your house, like it needs work, you can't afford it. Like there's just like car trouble. Like some people experience this stuff all at one time. Like this is all happening at one time. And unfortunately, I know what that's like. And I've had that happen at more than one point in my life. you feel down, so within your energy, within what you can do, you try to do something. And it may not have a thing where everything is better all at once, because one, you're already working, your energy reserve most likely is down. Those hits after hits after hits, it can kind of take you out, and you need an opportunity to kind of recover and to get better so that you can get back to doing magic on a larger scale that affects change on a bigger scale. And I don't think people realize that's a thing. I think sometimes when we talk about witchcraft, especially people on social media, they presented that you'll never be affected by anything. A protection spell will protect you against all that. You'll never experience anything negative or anything like that. And it doesn't mean that somebody did something to you. Sometimes, I mean, you're still having a human experience. So, like job layoffs, things like that. You live in a country where we are facing crazy instability. And that's having a domino effect, which is affecting people and their livelihood. So that's something that's happening to all of us. The thing as a witch is that if you can keep your energy, and we talked about this when we read Kellyanne Maddox's book, Witchiness in Dark Times. I think that's what it's called, or Witch in the Dark. I think that's what the book is called. And she talked about this, and that's why that book stood out to me. And I did like two parts breaking it down, because um, that's the part of the practice a lot of people don't want to talk about and focus on. Is like when things go dark, when you lose somebody. Yeah, witch in darkness. When you lose somebody very close to you, and when you're going through grief, and those are the times it's you're doing your best to hold on. So your magic and how you cast, it's affected by your energy levels and what you're doing. And just those little bit of rituals, those little bit of those small spells, or just that charm that you say can help you over time. Just at least it's not solving everything and healing everything, but it can at least maybe help with your energy reserve, so you can kind of get back to casting spells that might have a bigger impact overall. Oh, that's good, Dylan. That's an excellent book. As someone who found witchcraft at my lowest point, I can't imagine abandoning it just because of hardship has pulled me up out of the trenches. Exactly. Unfortunately, I know there, and the crazy part is when they go, and a while back I did a video like from New Age to Christianity. That unfortunately happens. I notice I'm seeing videos come up talking about that. I still want Rebel Witch. Rebel Witch was a good one. Ma'am, I support that lady, that witch. I I got Rebel Witch, I got the Witch in Darkness, and she had a class, and I went to her class as well, and I enjoyed it. She's like OG in the game here on YouTube with witchcraft, and I love her content, and I think she's solid. I think she's like a solid witch. I respect her. Speaking of classes, by the way, I am offering a class. The link is in the description. It is called Practical Magic for Advanced Witches. And I will be talking about, it's a class, so it's a 1 day class. It occurs April 4th at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Um, and I'm going to be talking about a host of very practical, but for advanced witches. So please don't expect this to be a witchy one-on-one class where I'm going to be telling you a bunch of stuff you already know. We're going to take the things that you already know in a practical sense, and we're going to talk about this from an advanced point of view. And yeah, I'm quite excited. Registration is open. The class is only $25. It is not super expensive, just so you know. I mean, I'm talking about practical magic. Why would you make it expensive? So it's incredibly inexpensive. If you are a member here, being a member here on a YouTube channel, Leap Taken is like a Patreon thing. And I greatly, I love all of you that are. Thank you. But if you are, they already have 40% off of that. So I just reminded them earlier today with a post like, hey, you guys, you remember you got like 40% off, so you can use that. So that's another reason to be a member. here for the channel. It supports me as well, and I it helps me very much to keep coming up with content. Um, and don't forget to like, that helps here too. Kind of grow it. YouTube and this algorithm, they kind of got me stuck at a certain point. It is not because of just my content or things like that. I'm seeing other people as well kind of stuck at a certain point. The algorithm is a beast. It's a beast, y'all. But liking and engaging does help. So this can reach other people. But yeah, check out the course. Again, the link is in the description. Um, or you could just go to the website, leaptaken.com, and it's right there. And April 4th, 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Registration is open. It's going to be a really great class for the purposes of like growing your path. It doesn't matter if what type of witchcraft that you do, and it doesn't matter. We're going to take it's for everybody, and we're going to take it and grow it for you. One of the witches I used to like recently became Christian. She deleted all her videos, is now uploading Christian videos. It's happening. It's a thing right now. I see it happening in waves, and usually when things are getting a little rocky in the world, um, it could go either way. People either are coming in because it's the trend, and then you got the people going out because they didn't know what to do. They only knew about the witchcraft where you're constantly. I think they had a limited view. Yeah. MTD. Are you saying Mountain Standard? Is that what you're saying? I don't know what that means. Oh, I don't know what that was, but it is. It's Pacific time that the ritual. I'm purposely saying that it's Pacific time, 3 p.m. Pacific time. So yeah, all right. So I'm gonna go ahead and get ready to go, and I will be back Friday with a book review. So that's coming. Accidentally hit send on my comment. No worries. But I appreciate you all for being here. And if you didn't catch all 22, go back and watch the replay and see what I was talking about. All right. Thank you. Bye.